Coming up on First at 4, a rock slide crushes cars and narrowly misses a business in Pikeville. And with heavy rain in the forecast this weekend, authorities are keeping a close eye on water levels.
A flash flood watch will go into effect tonight as heavy rain moves into eastern Kentucky. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the flood threat continues as more heavy rain moves across parts of the region. We can also see some strong storms tomorrow. Meteorologist Paige Noel begins our severe weather alert day coverage. Paige?
Yeah, Steve, you really hit it on the head there. It's really heavy rain starting to move in, and then we're also going to see those storms move in tomorrow. So it's about to be a busy 24 hours for the weather team here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pinpoint Doppler. All of us getting in on the rain. You'll notice some flood warnings out too. Now, those are for areas along the Kentucky River and along the Cumberland River, and really we're going to keep those warnings through Monday as heavy rain continues to make those rivers rise, and that'll continue really as we head into your Sunday, as some of those rivers are expected to crest Sunday morning and even Sunday afternoon. So we do have a couple of flood watches in effect. Now you'll see this one is through 7 a.m. on Saturday. This is for Claiborne County, Campbell County, Tennessee, and even Lee and Wise County, and that is for over into Virginia. So that has been moved pardon me, it's actually been moved to 12 p.m. just got changed through Saturday. And also we have this other watch out for areas over into Virginia and into West Virginia, and that is through 7 a.m. on your Sunday. But all of eastern Kentucky is under a flash flood watch, and that is until 7 a.m. Sunday. Really starts tonight around 7 o'clock. That's because heavy rain will continue to move into our area. Those bands of heavy rain could be very heavy at times. So we do have multiple watches in effect. We do have a chance for storms for your Saturday, but is relief on the way? Good news is yes, but when? We'll talk about that and more in my full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right, Paige, thank you. A massive rock slide damaged a business near downtown Pikeville. Cars were also crushed as debris from the mountainside crashed down during the night. WYMT's Connor James has more.
The biggest part of the slide was only 10 to 15 feet away from hitting the building, but thankfully only a tree hit the side of the building, causing some minor damage. People at Road Tested Tire and Auto tell me it could have been much worse. The slide destroyed 2 cars and damaged others. These 2 Pikeville Medical Center cars are still trapped in the debris. The business, it's actually still open today despite the slide. People have been coming all day to see how massive this slide actually is.
We was driving back from McDonald's having breakfast, and we seen this. Look at that mountain slide. Yeah, thank goodness no one was hurt, because that is just awful.
Now, there's no word yet on when this will exactly be cleared, but people just tell me they're thankful no one was injured. I'm in Pike County. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials believe it was the recent rain that caused that slide. The rain continued to fall in parts of southern Kentucky all day as emergency managers are waiting to see if the additional precipitation causes more problems. Already a number of roads are closed, but up to this point, no homes or businesses have been damaged. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more as officials are keeping a close eye on what happens this weekend.
The city of Barbourville is surrounded completely by a flood wall. In fact, every road leading into the city, there is a flood gate. Now, this was built in 1984 after a devastating flood in 1977. They have never had to shut these floodgates, and emergency management officials say they don't expect they will have to shut them this weekend either. Kentucky 459 remained closed on Friday about 7 miles south of Barbourville. It's hard to make out where the flooding ends and the pavement resumes. That's one of several areas throughout the county that are dealing with flooding as the rain continued to fall Friday morning and into the afternoon. The playground and picnic area at Dr. Thomas Walker State Historic Site were covered in water. Officials are also keeping a close eye on the Cumberland River.
They're expecting it to crest exactly where it crested earlier in the week, maybe a foot or two shorter than that. So that's good news for us.
Emergency management officials say they talked about a number of different issues during their meeting this afternoon. There are a number of mudslides affecting some roads in the county. Also, there's a number of roadways that are still closed because of high water. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Emergency officials say they are concerned about more flash flooding with possible heavy rounds of rain associated with thunderstorms tomorrow. In Laurel County, deputies arrested a woman for allegedly having Rice Krispie treats and fudge bars laced with drugs. Ashley Mullins was arrested along Kentucky 490 yesterday. WYMT's Macy Marie is in the newsroom with more on that. Macy?
Steve, deputies tell me Ashley Mullins was arrested along Kentucky 490 after she was pulled over for having expired plates. They say her speech was slurred and Mullins had bloodshot eyes. While searching the pickup she was driving, deputies say they found Rice Krispie treats and fudge laced with marijuana. Police say Mullins admitted to baking drugs into the snacks.
It's unclear right now what the reason that the marijuana was in the items there. Oftentimes it's meant to disguise the drug, and sometimes it's just a different means or a different method of getting the drug into your system.
Mullins was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center. Deputies charged her with driving under the influence, a couple of traffic violations, and possession of marijuana. Steve, Laurel County deputies tell me there is an increase in calls coming from the East Bernstadt area along Kentucky 490, and I'll have more on that tonight at 6.
All right, Macy, thank you. R&B singer R. Kelly was indicted today in Cook County, Illinois. Chicago prosecutors charged Kelly with 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse. Today's charges come after years of allegations directed at Kelly, accusing him of sexual misconduct involving women and underage girls. Kelly has repeatedly denied the accusations. Jussie Smollett, the actor accused of creating a hate crime hoax, will be removed from the final 2 episodes of Empire this season. Yesterday in court, Smollett sat impassively as the judge gave the 36-year-old actor a tongue lashing, saying the charges, if true, are utterly outrageous. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson was also visibly angry.
Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
Smollett had told police last month he was attacked by masked Trump supporters who hung a rope around his neck and doused him with an unknown chemical, all while yelling racist and homophobic slurs. But Johnson says it was all a publicity stunt that Smollett hoped would get him a bigger salary on Empire. Special counsel Robert Mueller is close to wrapping up his investigation into Russian interference into the 2016 election. However, late word that Mueller's report is not expected next week. Still unclear when exactly the report will be released. When it is released, it will be handed over to Attorney General William Barr. It will then be up to him to determine what information, if any, will be released to the public. Today, President Trump retweeted a political cartoon mocking the media as eagerly awaiting evidence of collusion. Evidence the White House says does not exist.
It's real simple to me. The president, far and away, was the better candidate. He had a better message, and he outworked Hillary Clinton. That's why he's president. He didn't need to, nor did he collude with the Russians.
6 former Trump associates were indicted or pleaded guilty in connection with Mueller's investigation to crimes ranging from tax evasion to lying about contacts with the Russians. But no one has been charged with conspiring with Russia to help the president win the election. North Carolina election officials ordered a do-over in the state's last undecided congressional race, the country's last decided race, after a dramatic change of heart by the leading candidate. Republican Mark Harris conceded yesterday his 905-vote lead was tainted by possible election fraud. That stunning reversal by Harris followed 4 days of witness testimony about claims of ballot fraud allegedly involving McRae Dallas, who Harris hired to get out the vote.
It's become clear to me that the public's confidence in the 9th District seat general election has been undermined to an extent that a new election is warranted.
Dallas was accused of hiring workers to illegally collect absentee ballots, forge voter and witness signatures, and even fill out some ballots for Republican candidates. The new election has not been scheduled yet. Dallas says he is innocent but refused to answer questions under oath. Teachers in Oakland, California headed into another day of strikes today after parents and students applauded their demands by keeping city classrooms empty. Oakland's 3,000 teachers went on strike yesterday over pay, class sizes, and other issues, holding a rally at City Hall, marching through downtown streets, and picketing outside the city's 86 schools.
Especially if you're a new teacher, Oakland's rents are so high, it's not sustainable. You can't live in the city that you teach in, which I never thought would happen.
Union officials from the Oakland Education Association returned this morning to the negotiating table with district officials. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Friday. The Dow closes up today more than 181 points. Straight ahead on First at 4, district tournaments continue tonight for high school basketball. We'll preview some of the championship matchups.
And more rain is on the way, but for how long? We'll break down that full forecast next.